Hey everybody, Matt here with SRP Medical Marketing. Another one of our second conference room here in our offices, and it's a little bit more echoey. They haven't put all the sound barriers in, so if it sounds like I'm in a bit of a canyon, it's I kind of sort of sound like I am. So, but today, hopefully, the power of this message will not be lost on that. But today, what I want to talk to you about is I had some interesting conversations yesterday. I've been talking to a number of practices that are looking to move from survival to stability or stability to scale. And I have a few more conversations lined up today with some different practices. As we're zeroing in on the 4 practices we're going to help massively grow in the next year. And quite frankly, we can double the size of the practice within as little as 90 days. But the interesting thing for me is the number of times that I have a conversation that goes something like this. And that conversation is, well, Matt, we hired a social media company and we've been spending a lot of money with them and we're just not seeing any more results. Or we've been getting a lot more likes on our pages, but when we do our daily social media posts, we're just not getting any feedback. Or our phone is ringing and we're not getting any more patients coming in. We're not getting any higher quality patients coming in. And all of those may be true, but they're actually symptomatic of a larger issue, okay? So I have this, even though I have a whiteboard behind me, I'm still using my trusty dusty simple blue board here. And where most practices are is they've got a frown here. For those of you that are doing great, good for you. But we all want to get to a place where we're happier. And the problem is that people focus on the wrong thing. What they do is they focus on this right here, and that's tactics. And you don't want to focus on tactics. Well, what is a tactic? Okay, so a tactic is Facebook advertising, social media advertising, direct mail, TV spots, radio spots, better scripting. Look, all of those are important. We offer all of that, right? Because they are important tactics, but they are not the strategy. So let me explain, okay? So let me explain. You have an objective, okay? You want to grow your practice. Let's say your practice is doing $45,000 a month and you want to grow it to 6 figures, okay? What most people do is they say, I have this objective. I want to grow to 6 figures. They figure that what they're going to do is they're going to work really, really hard and they're going to get everybody behind it and they're going to believe. And what they do is they go, we need to hire a social media person. And they spend all this money on tactics thinking that this tactic is going to work. And the problem is that they bypass the most important thing, and that is the strategy, okay? Social media, even though I use it, even though my clients use it, TV and radio, even though I use it, I used it to grow my practices myself. And I have clients that use it. All of those are nothing more than tactics. And let me give you an example of this. I had a conversation yesterday with Melissa at one of our sister companies that focuses on the insurance side of the business. Okay, so they if you're insurance based, I'll probably get you in touch with them. We were having this conversation. We're both longtime marketers. I'm 51 years old. I've been doing marketing for 25 years, right? Done it in 30 niches, okay? And the interesting thing is we were laughing about, back in 2005, I literally built a company on the back of, get this, fax blasting. Remember those paper fax machines that used to exist in your office? And remember you would get fax blasts on them? And we could literally send out a 1-page fax with an order form at the bottom and people would fax it right back in. I mean, our response, it was insane. We'd send these things out for like 6 cents a page. I can't remember the amount, but it was like 6 cents a page or 20 cents, whatever it was incredibly cheap. And we would get fax back and we would kill it. And then literally built a company of 7 figures just on the back of fax blasting. Today, fax blasting is gone. Okay, that same company, we did a tremendous amount of direct mail. The internet was in its infancy. We did a tremendous amount of direct mail and we killed it. We absolutely killed it. However, and I still use direct mail today, but again, those are just tactics. See, tactics come and go. Pay-per-click used to be really cheap and hot. It's no longer cheap and hot. It's too expensive for most practices. So these tactics change all the time. What you really need is you need a very clear strategy, okay? A clear strategy with clearly defined objectives will then determine what the tactics are. At the end of the day, do you really care how you get clients? Do you care how patients come into your practice? Because you shouldn't care if they come from social media. You shouldn't care if they come from direct mail. You shouldn't care if they come from TV and radio. And frankly, you shouldn't care if they come off the Goodyear blimp, as long as there is an ROI, as long as you can say you're getting a 2-to-1, a 3-to-1, a 4-to-1, 10-to-1 return on your investment, okay? So you have to focus in on, first and foremost, what's the objectives? Let's say you want to grow your practice to $100,000 a month. Okay, what are the strategies? If you're insurance-based, there's a completely different strategy than if you are cash-based. If you are a mix, there's a completely different set of strategies than if you are just purely cash-based. If you're insurance-based, you probably want to focus on how do I improve my reimbursement rate. Okay, if you're a mix, I've been talking with one group out of Southern Texas, and they're a mix. They have some cash, they have some insurance. Their upside for growing the cash side of the practice is better and faster than it is on the insurance side. So we're going to build out a strategy for them to do that specifically on the cash side. So you have to have a specific strategy, and a strategy isn't Facebook, okay? That is a tactic, okay? I hope you're getting this because this is so important. It's really what separates the winners from the losers, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you one last thing. All of this is for naught if you don't have a 90-day plan with 1, 2, 3 big rocks. Okay, so let me show you this. You have to have a clear 90-day plan with 1 to 3 big rocks. And then you need to measure those results. Okay? You've got to measure those results. All right? So let's say, Matt, we've done this. We had an objective. We built out what we thought was going to be a clear strategy for utilizing social media. 90 days later, 5 months later, we really have seen no growth in revenue. Well, it's going to then come down to, which I'll go into more detail on this in another video. It's really going to come down to a couple of things, a couple of key things. If you feel like you had an objective and you built a clear strategy and you focused on the tactic or tactics, you thought that were going to get you to the promised land and it didn't work, then what you need to do is you need to say, did I have the right people? Okay? And did we have the right process? It's not always about just the people. You have to have the people, the process, okay? The product, meaning a product that your client wants to buy, okay? And did you have the right tools? So P, 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 T. Do I have the right people? Did I have the right process? Do I have the right product? Maybe your offer just stunk, okay? Maybe your offer just wasn't clear enough. And did I utilize the right tools or tactics, if you want to call them tactics, okay? Because you can have a great message and you put it just in a place where people aren't going to get it, okay? That happens all the time, which I'm going to go into more detail on this. So here's the question for you, okay? Do you have the right objective? Do you have a clear objective? Is it clearly stated? Is there a clear timeline? Do you have a clear strategy? And do you have very clear tactics that are going to give you a 98-day plan, and are you going to be able to measure those results? All right, I'm going to leave you at this. For those of you that would like to talk to me specifically about working with us, we're looking to work with 4 practices this month to bring them on to help them scale their practices massively. This is a perfect fit for practices that are in the low to mid 5 figures a month and want to grow to 150,000 to 200,000 or more per month. So just private message me or type the word scale down there. Look, have a great day. Hopefully I'll get a chance to send you another video today. If not, it'll be tomorrow, where I'll talk specifically about the issues of when something doesn't work. Have a great day, everybody. Talk to you.